Greetings. My name is Agent Brooks from Board Game Cavern, and today we're going to brief you on Mind Management, a 1 to 5 player all versus one game of rogue agents and intrigue. So grab a torch and let's head to the cavern. Here's how you set up Mind Management. There are two modes in this game, the training mode and the full game, which we'll talk about a little bit later. In the training mode, you choose the player to be the recruiter. So one of you is going to sit on this side and be the recruiter. You're going to move all over the city on this little secret map and try to find recruits to restart the dangerous mind management program. Now the rogue agents, which is all the other players, will sit on that side of the board and work together to try to find you before you can recruit enough agents. We're going to take the time token here, put it on 1 to 5, that's the first spot. We're going to put all the cards that correspond to their space on the board. So move, ask, reveal, capture, and the two potential recruiters on that side. And over here we've got our two potential recruiters, which we'll choose from. Move, immortal, and step. We're going to place recruits, these little black tokens, on 1500 and 1600, just to show that it's a shorter game. This is the clock for the game. So the recruiter now is going to choose secretly one of these recruiters, Pipe Girl or Ad Man. And Ad Man mind slips orthogonally and Pipe Girl mind slips diagonally. So we're going to go ahead and choose Carl. Secretly, put him down here. Going to grab one mind slip token to be used in the game. Now we're going to figure out where we're going to start in the city as the recruiter. We're behind the screen here. We're going to secretly put a 1 somewhere on the board, which is our starting space. So we'll start here. Nice big 1 there. Next, our recruiter will take the feature cards deck, shuffle them up, and take the top 3 cards secretly. Now each card on here has a symbol that corresponds to something on the board. So these are going to be the places where you want to go to recruit new recruits for mind management. So we take Fountain first and circle every instance of the fountain on your secret board, which will help you to know where you want to be. Then we'll do pool, all the pools, pool, and billboard. Okay. So we want to head for those circles so we can recruit those new agents. Put these secretly behind the screen. Next, from the first space, number 1, we get to move 4 spaces because it's 1 through 5 on our first turn. Every space you move is an hour in the clock here. So we want to hit as many circles as possible. Let's go 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I should note that you cannot move diagonally in this game except on the temple board spaces right here, these diagonals. Then you can move diagonally. Otherwise, orthogonally is the only way to move. So now we have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which corresponds on here to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're right here. At the end of a recruiter's turn, if you happen to land on one of these red alert stop sign spaces, you then count the number of circles you've passed through in this particular round. In this case, 1, 2, 3. And then you take that number of pieces here, and this is the number of agents you have recruited that round. So we have recruited 3. This tells our rogue agents that we have recruited 3. Now once we recruit 9 in the training mission, we would win as the recruiter. We either have to recruit 9 of these, or we have to make it to the deadline, 1400, without being caught. The final step to set up the training mission is to place your 4 rogue agents. So the team that is playing the rogue agents will place their 4 agents right here. Now they all have a corresponding card which tells what they do, but for the training mission, we're not going to deal with that. They're just all the same. So you're going to take your 4 agents. This is Maru. and you're going to put them somewhere along the edge, on any edge space that you want. So I'll put them like this so we can make them easier to see. I like to spread them out. And that is Mind Management's training mode. Now let's run through a round so I can show you how it plays. Each round of Mind Management, we'll see both sides take 2 turns. The recruiter always goes first. So in the training mission, the recruiter will move to the 6. We want to go somewhere where there are circles. We'll go on the church, the temple, 6. And we advance the time token because it's 6 a.m. During the rogue agent's turn, they will be activating 2 agents which have not been activated yet this round. And those agents will both be able to move 2 spaces orthogonally. Remember, you can't move diagonal except in these spaces here with the temple. And then they'll have their choice of actions. Now you can do the action before or after the 2-space move. That's your choice. Now I've pulled the cards from over here so we can see them better. This is to remind you that you can move 2 spaces, and then you can take one of 3 actions. The first is ask, which allows you to ask on the space you're on. You can ask about any of these icons on the space you're on. And you're basically asking if the recruiter has recruited anybody in a space with one of those icons. So we have the dogs, the canine assassination dogs, and the confusion idol. They're the 2 on the space we're on. So if we're doing Henry Lime, we would ask about the dogs. Now the recruiter will go back here. He will check. He knows he doesn't have the dogs here. The recruiter will say they cannot place a new token. But let's say Henry is in this space, and he asks about the billboard. Now, we know the billboard is one of our 3 cards, recruiting spaces, so the recruiter will grab one of these footprints, and they can put it on any billboard space that they have passed through. It does not have to be the one they're currently on or anything like that. So the only one he's passed through here is this one. So we'll put the footprint there. Another action rogue agents can take on their turn is the reveal action. If you're on a space with a footprint, as Henry is here, he can say, I want to reveal this. They'll take it off the board, and the recruiter will grab one of these little double-sided brain tokens. And on the green side, since this is confirmed, he's going to write the hour that he was in this space that had the footprint. So we check over here. He was there on hour 5. So you write a big 5 and put it down there. Now the rogue agents know that he was in this space at 5. The final action the rogue agents can choose from in training mode is capture. If they think for sure that they're in the space, say we move here, and we think he's there, and we say we're going to capture you. That is correct. He happens to be there at this moment, 6 p.m., the 6th. He is captured. The recruiter loses. The rogue agents have won this training mission. Now, one trick that the recruiter has up their sleeve is the mind slip. We have chosen Carl the ad man. We see he mind slips orthogonally 2 spaces, which means he can slip and jump a space orthogonally. So we keep that face down. So if we choose to move, let's say we want to mind slip this space and go here. Let's put a 7 on our turn. We've skipped it. Now we take the mind slip icon. We get 1 in the training mode and put it next to the time when we mind slipped to let the rogue agents know that we have mind slipped. Keep in mind, with mind slip, you're jumping over a location without visiting it. So if it has an icon, as a recruiter, you cannot recruit an agent from that space. However, you can mind slip over a space you've already visited. This can be really helpful if you're boxed in. To set up and play a full game of mind management, there are some additional features which I'll explain to you now. You set up just like you did for training mode. The recruiter places the time token on the 1 through 5. Then Each character grabs a mayhem token, these long bacon strips, and each character, starting with the recruiter, places the mayhem tokens on one of the white lines between spaces. These are impassable barriers that will be used throughout the game. Each character places one. Then we place all of our action cards on the board. Now, additionally, in the full game, you'll have a shakedown action, which I'll explain in a bit, and you'll have an ally, the Black Ops Dolphin. Additionally, when you're playing the full game, there will be another Mind Slip token, which is placed anywhere around one of the temples. So we'll put it here. And of course, the recruiter goes first. When setting up for the full game of Mind Management, you do not cover the 1500 and 1600 spaces, because the game can go on a little longer than normal. Also, the recruiter is trying to get 12 agents instead of 9. We've already chosen our recruiter. We've selected our space and moved 5. We've recruited 3 recruits. Now we're playing with Immortals, which are an additional element for the recruiter to use to recruit agents throughout the city. So you'll take your 4 Immortals, these black-based characters, and put them in on any square that isn't on the edge. So I'll put them like this so you can see them. Then you're going to draw 2 feature cards face up. During the recruiter's turn, they can move an immortal 1 space, diagonal or orthogonally. What they're trying to do is move these immortals to occupy 2 spaces at the same time that have these icons, in this case the palm tree and the garden. So if we moved to the garden and there's another immortal on a garden space as well, they automatically recruit 1 agent. So we'd take an agent token, we'd put it on the garden space up here in the upper right, idea garden. That counts toward the 12 that the recruiter needs to win the game. Then we'd take the card away for the garden, put it over here, and we draw a new card. Now the immortals are trying to occupy 2 spaces that have the coffee and the palm tree. Additionally, if immortals ever occupy a space with a rogue agent, that agent cannot ask, reveal, or capture during their turn. They effectively block most of their actions. The rogue agents have 1 additional action they can do in the full game, and that is shakedown. Whenever they occupy the space with an immortal, they can shake them down for information. They can choose 1 feature and ask the recruiter if that's one of their recruitment cards. So if our rogue agents ask about the billboard, the recruiter checks his cards, he has the billboard. He has to discard the billboard and cannot use the billboard spaces to recruit any longer. If the recruiter loses one of their recruitment cards, it's easier to just cross out those spaces on the board so you know that you can't recruit from those spaces anymore. At the end of a shakedown action, the rogue agents can move the immortal 1 space orthogonally in any direction. During the recruiter's turn, they have the option to reveal a location to gain 1 more move for one of their immortals. So they can grab one of these and reveal one of the spaces they've been on. It's up to them. And that gives them 1 more move for any immortal on the board, 1 space. This concludes your classified briefing on Mind Management. This giant box also contains the Shift system, which is 14 boxes of additional content that is unlocked depending on which side wins each game. They're numbered 1 through 7. This is the recruiters, and this is the rogue agents. Now each box contains a character, cards, playing pieces from the popular comic series. So fans of the comics will be very excited to break these open. Additionally, if you wanted to play solo or AI versus everyone else, you can use the free app. My name is Agent Brooks. Thank you for watching.